I knew.
You're welcome.
I knew you were going to use that when you told me you did a dub step with my balls itch.
My balls itch.
As
You
soon
just
as
put
I heard
anything in the
that,
drop.
I was like, "That's it. This is going to be the my balls itch drop."
The old classic my
The
balls
old
itch.
classic my balls itch drop. I knew it.
Gets them every time.
I know it.
I think we should commission you to change the intro music every episode. I know you've got shit just laying around.
That's not going to make a cohesive podcast, but I mean, fuck it.
Oh, because the majority of what we do is cohesive.
We sit around bullshitting for an hour and then we hop on. It's consistent. It's consistent.
Uh-huh. So is a good shit if you've been eating lots of fiber, but whatever.
It's consistent.
And then you go eat Taco Bell.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, Taco Bell.
And Mexico. What's funny is Taco Bell usually doesn't tear me up. I had Adam and I walked over and got Mexican, and I had a couple margaritas and had a few drinks after that. And yeah. Yeah. Mexican.
You were just getting started. Yeah. I could tell.
Yeah, I know, right? I started getting wound up, and it's pretty clear that Dan's not done drinking yet.
He's like, I don't have a margarita. Let me get a margarita. All right, let me get another margarita. Let me get one more.
Because he's thinking, I've been sitting there next to Dan while such things have happened, and in this particular circumstance, he's thinking, I don't have to drive home. That was his thought.
Pretty much, right? I was within walking distance of my apartment, so why the fuck not? And then I wake up the next morning and I'm like, oh, that's why the fuck not. So
yeah, I gained 3 pounds last night. So
you gained 3 pounds last night.
I weighed a certain amount yesterday, and then today I gained 3 pounds over that.
Quit getting on the scale.
That's not.
Quit.
Now the problem is that I'm measuring it.
Yes.
Like, you haven't gained weight if you don't get on the scale.
If you don't quantify it, it's not real, right?
You're not sick if you don't have to go to the doctor.
If you just ignore it, it goes away. All right.
Yeah, this is simple.
Dan.
This is simple science, guys. Now, I'll tell you what I tell anybody that's trying to lose weight, and that is stay away from the scale, but maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. Because you'll fluctuate, man. Just
don't tell me what to do.
The food that you put in your belly last night probably weighed a pound.
I'm a grown-ass man.
Which is why you're trying to lose weight. But
he's an ass man.
He's an ass man, but only grown asses.
Oh, well, yeah.
Don't give him those, like baby spinach. You don't want no baby asses. You want grown asses. Which for legal reasons is good.
Yeah, the people at the jail see it that way.
They like that Adam is a grown ass man too, for completely different reasons. Here's the thing: I'm hungover. You let me run with this, and this is what we're going to talk about. So.
Well, this is the Dan show, man. You do you. We're here. We're here.
We're here. We're
if
good.
You need us.
I get a little applause sign.
Want a golf clap?
Yeah. You guys can be my hype man.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, boy.
No.
That's the last hype man that Doug has been exposed to right there.
I think he's the greatest hype man of all time. I'm just saying.
He made a hell of a career out of it.
Yeah.
Man's got money. So,
he's got money, the guy's talented, but he's not, obviously the next Mozart or he's not what is that place? It starts with a T where a lot of musicians go. They have big summer festivals. Shit. What is that?
The T.
Tanglewood.
The Tivana.
Tanglewood. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and do you remember he was on a reality show?
Oh, The Flavor of Love? Or
Yeah.
all of that other bullshit?
Yeah, he was banging, what the fuck was her name? The big blonde.
Oh, Brigitte Nielsen when they
Yeah.
were all on that reality show, and then he got out of that, and they found his life rather amusing, so they did Flavor of Love since they had already done that bullshit with Bret Michaels or whoever the fuck it was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Brett and his wig. So.
Yeah. Great. I didn't know he was part Cajun.
Oh.
We just fucking make up words down here.
Well, they kind of do.
Well, I mean, they're saying existing words. You just don't really know which ones those happen to be.
Yeah, some of them are their own words. They'll kind of twist French and English and what do they call?
And semen in their mouth.
Why, Doug? Why?
And balls.
See,
and cock.
You guys just completely just lowered the bar.
It can't go any lower. It can't go any lower.
Oh, it can go lower. It can go.
We need James Cameron in here to raise the bar.
Why James Cameron?
Because he raises the bar.
James Cameron is so far above our pay grade, man. We can't afford James Cameron.
I bet we could.
I don't.
Just tell him, like, this film is going to fail and he needs to raise the bar and he'll just show up.
This podcast is going to fail. We need to raise the bar.
And then we're going to do some underwater exploration afterwards or something.
I don't know why it reminds me of like a Family Guy episode or, like a flashback.
It's a South Park episode.
South Park.
He goes down on a submarine because there's like a bar that he needs to raise for like no reason.
He's got to raise the bar.
And he has his own theme music when he's in it, and his whole crew is just fucking sick of him. They're like, yeah, we can hear you, James. He's like, can you hear the music? They're like, yeah, we can hear it, James.
Oh, South Park. Did those guys wind up buying Casa Bonita?
Mm-hmm.
Did they?
Yeah, it went through. They had like a public thing with like Governor Polis about it, and talking about it and stuff.
I mean, it makes sense, right? It actually was a logical move on their part that this fucking place will be 10 times more popular than it ever was. It'll be curious to know if they improve the food or if they actually make it worse. Knowing those guys.
I assume they'll improve it just because like they need it to make money,
Well, I mean,
but do they?
They don't need it to make money, but it would be nice, right? Like, why would you buy it just to lose money, even if it is funny?
Well, and because it's funny and they're rich as fuck too, because the tax write-off would be beneficial.
Well, I mean, knowing those guys, they could have literally like the menu have two sides. One side be the good stuff, and the other side
the slop.
is like
the original menu.
The diarrhea plate, aka the original menu, and
have like Cartman tacos and
I mean, just name them diarrhea nachos and diarrhea this.
People will get them.
People will still eat them. Oh, absolutely! Millennials are idiots.
Bring me the goddamn diarrhea nachos,
right?
With sour cream.
Oh, people all day long, man, and
I would.
I know you would. I would not, but that's.
I mean, what does it matter what they're called, man? If they're good, it's funny. If they're bad, it's not funny. But
because then if you shit yourself stupid, they're just like, "What? We told you." Like,
they said they were diarrhea nachos.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah, if we don't name this episode the diarrhea menu, I'm going to be upset.
How about diarrhea nachos?
Diarrhea nachos would work.
Ladies and gentlemen, behind the scenes on how we name our episodes. So, it's about as fucking in-depth as we get with it. I apologize if we ruined by pulling that curtain back and expose the man behind the wizard. That's
The
that's
man
what we
behind
do.
the wizard.
Yeah, the man behind the
The
wizard.
man is the wizard.
No. You've never seen Wizard of Oz.
He's
man.
behind the curtain. It's the man
he's
behind,
the curtain, but it's look at him.
He's
Listen.
not the wizard's not real. That's the whole thing. So
Right.
it's the man is the wizard.
But he's the man behind the wizard. It works either way.
It doesn't.
It
You're
works
trying to
either
make
way.
it work.
I will shoehorn this to work.
I am the great and powerful Oz.
No, you're not. You're Doug. We've had this conversation.
He's
Cock
Oz.
and balls.
He's
I'm not-
Oz.
I'm not
I've seen him
calling you
hawking
Oz.
some fucking bullshit on daytime TV. He's
I'm
Oz.
not- he's Oz. That fucking dude. I know so many people that were just.
He's
up
like,
his
all you have
ass.
to do is drink apple cider vinegar and it'll cure
Mhm.
every disease that you've ever had. By the way, I just released my new line of Dr. Oz apple cider,
Apple cider
vinegar.
vinegar.
What a coincidence.
They need to. He's another one on my drowned in the bathtub list.
You know what? There was a time when I would get irritated with them, right? But here's the thing. Look, if people, part of me is like, if there's people dumb enough to just listen to somebody, without any.
Yep.
I don't understand politics or that kind of shit or religion or any of it. For you to sit and listen to one man and to deify this one human being, there's something wrong with you.
He's friends with Oprah.
He's oh well, fuck me. I didn't know that. I take back everything
Yeah,
I said.
so that gives him medical credibility.
I've never understood the.
Yeah, that's kind of like the new Holiday Inn Express commercial. You know, you just butt your way into an operating room, move out of the way. I'm fucking friends with Oprah.
Right? Excuse me, I know Oprah. I think, like I said, I think there's something wrong with you if you're willing to take things hook, line, and sinker like that from a human being. There's plenty of people that I respect, or I respect their opinion. You know, I've told you guys there's a psychiatrist here in Colorado that writes books, and I've read I think just about everything he's done, and I like his take on things. But yeah, if he was like, "Here, drink apple cider vinegar and it'll fucking cure all your romance woes," I'd be like, quit being stupid. You know, write a book, put your information and your opinions and stuff in a book, and I will buy that book. Right. But the minute that a celebrity or anyone starts hawking a particular thing, it's like, but why? You know, 50 years ago, people did that, and you kind of bought into it because it was just the culture, and there was no other way to really fact check anything. But folks, we have the fucking internet now, and when people ask me dumb questions, especially if they send it like in a message, I'm like, in the amount of time that it took you to send that to me, you could have checked fucking Google. Now, sometimes you just want to start a conversation, and that's okay too. But if people that don't use the internet to check things, and you can argue, well, it depends on your sources on the internet too, and that's absolutely true, but that's been around since the days of print media. Anybody could start print media, right? Anybody can start a website. But you can get a gist of, like, if you start searching stuff and more information comes out against what you're believing or hearing, you got to at least pause and think about it, right? I mean, or maybe you don't. I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid and I should just believe everything I hear. Remember the old commercial? I don't even remember what it was for, but it was something about believing everything on the internet. And this dude rolls up for a blind date, and she's like, "Oh, aren't you said online that you were French?" He's like, "I am. Bonjour." I don't know I can't remember what those commercials were for. They were big for about a year, and I don't remember what it was for. So
my favorite one of those was Cyanide and Happiness, where you had the dude that was, if he replied to a spam email, whatever the effect of the spam email was supposed to be, he got it.
Yeah,
And
the
then
boner pills.
The very first thing was, make your dick bigger. And then he's walking around and a fucking bird lands on it, and and they're both whistling and singing and shit.
Yep. And then isn't it the he winds up dead, I think because he doesn't
yeah, a chain email.
he doesn't forward a chain email, and so he dies, and they bury him, and it's the headstone and his massive boner sticking up out of the fucking dirt.
Yeah, he wound up with a giant boner. A Nigerian prince gave him all kinds of money. He met a shitload of single ladies in his area, but he didn't reply to the chain email.
Yeah.
And the ghost girl killed him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's so dumb.
I fucking love Cyanide and Happiness. Absolutely love. They did the comic panels for a long time, and then they started doing little short animated things. And I followed them and the Oatmeal. I love the Oatmeal.
Oh, the Oatmeal's good.
Yeah, I actually subscribed. I remember if it was on Instagram. He did this little panel about how the algorithms for social media work and how much it cost him to try to put his stuff out there. So he asked people to subscribe to his newsletter. And admittedly, I avoid that kind of stuff like crazy, but I like his content. He amuses me. So I feel like if you provide me with some value, I will, accept some spam email. And it's not spam. It's always like whenever he does a new comic, he'll send it out in the newsletter, which is kind of cool. Cause like advertising on social media, I mean, we've done it, right? We've all done, I mean, Adam and I have both done it separately. I've done it for like my photography and when I was doing the Beard in the Wind merchandise. I know Adam's done it for his music and whatnot. And then we've done it for the podcast. And as a little guy, quote unquote, it's fucking impossible, man. They drain your pockets and you just don't get the impressions that it's just not worth the cash. If you're a bigger company and you have budgets of $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 or more, I'm sure it helps, but for the little guy, it don't do much.
No, you're just fighting people with more money.
Yeah, exactly. It's like pay to play. So, like with the podcast, as a matter of fact, that reminds me, one of a friend of mine that listens, she was surprised to find out that we upload these to YouTube. At least we're supposed to. I don't know if Adam does or not.
I just tell people that I do and they never check me, so.
That doesn't surprise me. That's why you noticed I said that, right? And the reason we did that, one of the reasons we did it, one is to try to get out on as many platforms as possible, make it easier for people. Two, is that YouTube has a built-in comments section. Because she said, hey, I just want you to know that she works for I shouldn't say works, volunteers for one of those dog rescue organizations. And when they're transporting animals, she'll listen to us then because, it's mind numbing and we're perfect for that.
I thought they had to listen to Sarah McLachlan the whole time. I thought it was company mandated.
Right, exactly. You have to have a Sarah McLachlan certified soundtrack.
Yeah, and then it would be like, and employees must possess no razor blades, cyanide tablets, shotguns.
Right. Fuck that commercial and fuck Sarah McLachlan. I want to punch her in the left tit every time that fucking commercial comes on. Like, you bitch, take my money. So she said, and I just want you to know that I argue with you guys out loud when I don't agree with something. And I said, perfect. That is fucking excellent. Right. I love that. One of the biggest reasons that we do this is we like to converse. It's not about hearing our own voice. I actually don't ever even listen to the podcast after they're recorded because, believe it or not, I can't stand the sound of my own voice. So I can't listen to them. But we love conversation, good conversation. And I think it's a lost art form because everyone just wants to argue and fight and push their opinions down everybody's throats. And one of the reasons that this works with the three of us is that even when we disagree, and we give each other shit. Hell, we do it here on the podcast. But even when we give each other shit, we respect the other person's opinion. And if Doug or Adam says something to me that I don't agree with, we'll fuck around and whatever, dick. I will research it afterwards. I will go and look up what they're talking about, and they'll both tell you. I have come back and been like, huh, you were right. And again, I think that the difference there is that if I tell Adam or Doug that I was wrong and they were right, they don't shove it in my face, right? And months later, if I disagree with them again, neither one of them says, well, you remember that one time a couple months ago when you were wrong? And that facilitates conversation. And I think a lot of people like to argue, what do you, how could you, okay. So apparently these two are conspiring against me to give me a verbal diarrhea.
I don't have it anymore. I was looking for it. I don't have it.
You don't
Damn
have
it.
verbal diarrhea anymore.
I'm sure I have it.
Fine. I'm sitting here saying nice things about Adam and Doug. You're right. That is verbal diarrhea.
Yeah.
Both know.
I think
we're going to take your feelings and shit on them. That's what we're going to do.
I think I named it.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I named it something stupid, and now I can't find it. So
Imagine that. So back to my original point, because I have ADD and I wander sometimes.
sometimes I wonder.
I wonder. YouTube is out there, and it's got the comment sections. So if there is something out there that you disagree with or you want to conversate about, that'd be fucking cool, because I would love to get some feedback. We've kind of researched some different feedback options. We've got an email address that I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, because we're fucking professionals here, guys.
Bullshirtpodcast@gmail.com.
It's not, no.
Yeah.
Although that probably would work.
Yeah.
We've got a website that I've never done anything with, because there's just never been a point.
Bullshirtpodcast@gmail.com.
No, stop. Stop with your Gmail nonsense.
Well, we have comments on YouTube. Who knew?
Do we really?
Yeah, but I think it's spam.
Oh, yeah. Like, hey, this is awesome. Let's collab.
Oh, it's links to spam stuff. They're linking stuff. Okay.
Gotcha. That shit, dude. Instagram has, I've tried to get back into photography again, because I realized I don't.
Yeah, this guy said, just subbed, about to check out some of your other videos. All the best and good luck with growing your channel. All vague, could apply to any channel. Have you ever looked at, and he put this fucking website in there. You should use it. It will help you get the views that you deserve.
The views that you deserve.
I'm glad people are interacting.
Yeah, right? So, good. Good.
I just went back through as a schmuck, going through YouTube over the last 6 or 7 videos, and I didn't see shit. I'm logged into the email, the Google email that you had to make for the channel.
Mm-hmm.
And it just sends an email when someone comments. So,
well, I think what that boils down to is that we've never really broadcast that we do have the YouTube out there, and it really is primarily for the interaction. So if there is something in one of our episodes that you like, dislike, want to argue about, or tell Doug to get fucked, please feel free to go to the YouTube channel and tell Doug to get fucked.
But only Doug.
Yeah, tell Doug to get fucked. I'm really hoping we get 300. Fuck yourself, Doug. Because one, that would amuse me. Two, that would really amuse Doug. And,
oh, yeah.
And I think Adam would probably be someone.
You eat diarrhea nachos, Doug.
Right, exactly. Fuck you and your diarrhea nachos, Doug. So, but yeah, it's just Bullshirt Podcast, right, on YouTube.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. We try to keep things pretty simple, as you can tell, because believe it or not, we're pretty simple people.
We're simple men.
Simple men.
Men. Simple.
Don't just look up the Bullshirt Podcast. But now, allow me to, pass along one of my just goofy verbal tricks. If you just ever want to fuck with somebody and they tell you their name, all you have to do is emphasize it and put the in front of it. Oh, you mean you are the, and then whoever the fuck, just to fuck with them. It's fun.
That's weird because I do something similar when someone says, "Oh, you mean Adam Lester?" And I'm like, "I think you mean the Adam Lester."
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
And I don't know why I do that. It's just a weird, I don't know. I guess like you said, sometimes when people announce their names, you're like, "Oh, you're the Doug Arnold." Well, fuck me. I'm so sorry. Right? I didn't realize we had fucking royalty here.
Yeah, it's kind of like the new Sir. The.
Right? I wonder if we could like incorporate that like legally. Fucking change my name to the Dan Adams. Damn, now I wish I wasn't fucking fixed. I'd go have a kid just to name him the. So,
Just add a bunch of like royal titles to it.
right? But right,
Like
exactly.
Lord, Sir, Mr. fucking
Yeah.
Lord,
exactly.
Sir, Mr. fucking. I love that.
Smith.
the third.
It's got to be the third. Got to be the third. I know a fourth once, and I was just like, I mean, part of me is like, I get it. I get the lineage thing. The other part of me is like, you couldn't come up with anything different. Like,
I mean, they could have, but it's the whole point is that they don't. Like that's
I
the
know.
tradition.
I mean, they had like King Henry the fucking 18th and shit. So
Well,
I
Back
get it.
then they had
maybe-
like 3 names.
Yeah, it's true.
Like Henry, David, and fucking and Thoreau.
Thoreau, I knew that was coming.
Well, maybe they needed 3 attempts to get it right. The first 3 sucked, so you needed to make a 4th.
I guess
It's
I don't
really
know.
like revision 4. Like they're trying to make a decent human being one more time.
Rev 4.
Or
Which rev are we
maybe his parents were Hollywood producers where there are no more original ideas, and they said, fuck it, we'll just make 4 of them.
Fourth, right? But it's so true too. We were just having this conversation yesterday at lunch about I think it's the new Matrix Resurrections, and I'm sure I'll watch it on HBO Max or some shit like that. I won't go to the theater for sure, but it just, why? What more of that story was there to tell? You
Now he's
killed
back.
off.
Who knew that the outside world outside of the Matrix was actually another Matrix? And there are
Well-
actually 7 matrices deep.
Matrices.
It just turns into Inception, where they can just keep going indefinitely with the fucking movies.
The Fast and Furious. And
Yeah, that's the one
Matrix.
that makes me mad.
Fast
Yeah,
and Furious.
because it's like, what are we up to? 9,
Yeah.
10,
Yeah.
something like that, and it's like, holy fuck! It's like the first one was kinda, sorta, semi-entertaining.
They were fun. Yeah, you knew what you were getting into. It wasn't going to be a cinematic masterpiece that made
Right.
you weep and change your
But
mind about
when
things.
they got up to the point where both they and the cars gained superpowers to where they can more or less do anything, I'm convinced that they will continue this franchise to the point where they're riding souped up power chairs in a fucking retirement.
Or they just
I think Fast and
merge
Furious is one of those
Transformers.
that they make basically for China because it's huge in China, even though
Yeah.
America hates it.
Yeah,
Like just like
absolutely.
Transformers.
Transformers.
Like,
Yeah.
no one here watches it, but it's huge in China, so they just release it anyway.
Well, it's I rewatched Venom the other day. I like Hardy, and I was a huge Spider-Man / Venom fan back when I was into comic books, and they bastardized it a little bit, but whatever. Anyway, at the beginning of the movie, I noticed something that I didn't notice the first time. It's 10-cent productions or 10-cent movies,
Dude, they're in everything.
and that's
You don't not see that anymore.
Well, and that's the thing is that a year or two ago, I think it came out in 2018. So a couple of years ago, I wasn't as tuned in to 10 Cent as I am now. And so it made me realize, anyway, that 10 Cent, for those of you who don't know, they're a Chinese company, are they not?
Yeah, they're Chinese.
And they are buying up everything.
Yep.
And so when you see Tencent at the beginning of movies and things like that, it's not that it's just an investment, because that's what they're doing, right? They're getting their feet into everything. But it's because they want to be able to release it over in China. And a ton of movies nowadays are made for a global audience, and mostly China. And China's got like 1 billion fucking people. I mean,
Yeah, so you'd probably gear it toward the country that has, the most people.
the most eyeballs to watch
Like,
it.
I would do that.
Right?
The
Thank you.
place
I
that you
mean,
could make the most money.
money.
But
They
they've
don't really
been
give
getting
a
their...
fuck about the eyeballs. The eyeballs come with money. That's why they give a fuck about the eyeballs.
Oh, I was correlating eyeballs and money, Doug. Come on.
movie tickets and eyeballs.
Yeah, you got to have
Money.
eyeballs. You're not going to go see a movie if you don't have eyeballs, Doug.
I mean, you
Right.
could.
Why
Well,
would I
good.
spend money?
Don't hate.
Well, I
Saying.
know there's people that watch shit without eyeballs because fucking if you've ever fucked up and turned descriptive video service on
Oh, yeah.
on your television set, you'll be like, "What the fuck is this?"
I can't do captions. I know a lot of people do it.
I love captions.
There's a lot of movies and shows that I wanted to watch. There's a couple on Netflix. There was one, it was a German series about like a post-apocalyptic world. Like I think like the rain was acidic, like truly acidic and shit like that.
It wasn't acidic; it was infected, and it killed motherfuckers dead like
Is that what
raid.
it was? Yeah, and it looked good, but I just couldn't get past the subtitles. Thank you.
There you
At
go.
the bottom. There's another one that's on there. It's called like Army of Zombies or something like that, and it's weird because it's like got embedded Spanish subtitles in it. I thought I'd turned on subtitles.
Oh, it's like
at
on
first.
it's on the movie itself.
Yeah,
That's
and
annoying.
the movie, because there's some parts where they're in like Mexico and stuff, and they were speaking Spanish, and I didn't notice any subtitles or anything. But the scene kind of, you didn't need to know what they were saying. You could get what was going on, and I thought, oh, it's one of those types of scenes. Okay, no big deal. And then they switch to the U.S. and they're in this lab, and the guy's talking, and it's Spanish at the bottom, and I'm like, this is weird. I mean, I'm subtitling for other countries is great, whatever, but I've never seen it embedded into the actual film like that, so it was kind of strange.
Well, they do that
Often.
for English, for English-speaking countries. They'll
Mhm.
like that Spanish scene would have English subtitles in most
Sure,
movies.
right? That I would expect. I would understand, right?
Well,
But-
yeah, because you speak English.
right. But then when they went into the English part and they were subbing it for Spanish, it was strange.
They got like a Spanish copy of the movie or something, I guess.
That's kind of like what it reminded me of when you download a movie, a torrent a movie, and it would have these embedded subtitles into it. So it was interesting, but I'm always looking for something. I won't say original. Sci-fi was always that. That's what bums me out. Is that sci-fi was sci-fi. I love sci-fi. Sci-fi was always that place where you could find original shit. It wasn't always like, the effects would be terrible or something like that, but it had a neat story. And now it's getting to the point where it's just as fucking bad. Just rehashing the fuck out of everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's when somebody comes out with an original idea, all of that crap costs money to produce. And
Yeah.
the sad part is everything has become about money and not about the art at all.
No, and that's you're right about that. I mean, we all know, hey, musicians and authors and movie makers and actors, they have to make money. If people didn't make money at it, why would people? I mean, you gotta. If I want a guy to just concentrate on making music and not have to go work at Pizza Hut, then you pay him for his music, and then he can just do that. I get that, but yeah, fuck, man, it's when it's all just about billions and billions of dollars. This is what you get, right? You get fast.
Verbal diarrhea.
Oh
You
my
found
God, I'm so happy.
You're happy that Adam has verbal diarrhea?
Yeah.
Verb. Verbal diarrhea.
Yes.
You have the weirdest fetishes, Doug.
Verbal diarrhea.
So we're just going to do that for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
I'll just leave it on loop.
That's creepy. I'm just putting that out there. But you're down with that.
You could do a verbal diarrhea dubstep.
I could.
Yeah, we're gonna need that by next podcast, everybody. Verbal diarrhea. Bow, wow, 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 wow. I like dubstep. I admit it. So a good drop and a good beat.
Well, I mean, it's kind of one of those cotton candies of new formats of music.
I would
know what I
agree
mean?
with that. It's very easily digestible. It's really a beat with an oscillating warble behind it. I mean, I like electronic music though. I think electronic music's kind of cool, and I do think that people who make electronic music are still musicians. You still have to arrange and compose. Well, the composers then whatever. It's whether you drag a chord over or you play the chord, what the fuck's the difference? You still decided that chord needs to go there. Dubstep. I mean, what do you think, Adam? Do you consider yourself a musician?
Yeah. I make music, so yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, there's no one else. Like, if you had a composer, right, you'd still need players to create sound.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's one dude doing it all, then he can't just be a composer because there's sound.
Right, because he's actually creating the sound. And I mean, and I've seen your setup. You've got the keyboard and stuff like that. But there's guys like Deadmau5 and Skrillex and Bass.
You know what's funny is that Deadmau5 made Skrillex famous. Like he signed him to Mousetrap and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then he decided he really didn't like dubstep anymore because it got so fucking ridiculously oversaturated.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, God damn it. Like, I fucking made this.
This is my fault. And if you listen to Deadmau5, he's
a grumpy old man, dude.
He is. I watched his master class and it was great. He's obviously like autistic or something. He does not deal well with people. But it's why he invented the whole mask thing, right? Was to not have to interact. But his music is incredibly layered and sophisticated. It really is. I'd argue anybody that knows anything about music to disagree. But yeah, it has like the Adam made a dubstep song the other day. And he shared it, and we were joking because I said, "Oh, congratulations! You used every dubstep trope in one song." And he's like, "Yeah, all three of them, Dan. All three of the fucking." And he's
the wobble
right.
bass, the fucking random vocal sample right before it drops.
Yep.
And some ridiculous fucking lame buildup.
It was all there. It was all there, man. But it was good. I mean, you could have stuck it on any Spotify playlist, and it would have fit perfectly. Yeah, I like electronic music. But I can sit and listen to somebody play fucking flamenco guitar. There's a guy, Andy something, I can't remember.
So the guitar is like a bird?
A bird. It's a big pink bird. Yeah. So, fun fact, Robbie Krieger from The Doors was a flamenco player. So they.
How do you play I don't understand.
You never saw the bird on stage though, did you? Yeah. See, that's.
So how does that happen? Like, where's the sound coming from?
Those guys are badass, man.
Flamenco players.
Who says what? If you can play a guitar flamenco style, in my eyes, you're a badass. the guy that I used to listen to all the time, and I encourage anyone out there to do so. Some of the most beautiful music that I've ever heard. The guy's name is Andreas Segovia.
I know the guy.
I encourage you to look him up and listen to his music. And then after you have listened to his music, if you've ever attempted to play the guitar in your life, then I want you to look up a picture of this guy. And when you see that his fat ass sausage fingers could do all of that shit, you will be amazed.
There's a group. I think they're traditionally Spanish flamenco, or flamenco may be traditionally Spanish. I don't know. Rodrigo y Gabriela, which just translates to Rodrigo and Gabriela. They got popular on YouTube for doing a lot of like rock covers, but in this Spanish flamenco style. And Metallica was one that they did a fucking ton of. And Metallica recently did this, I think it was like the 25th anniversary of the Black Album. And they had a bunch of people come in and cover their songs. And they did, I can't remember what they did, but it was fucking absolutely phenomenal. But it's Rodrigo y Gabriela, and I highly recommend checking them out. They're just fucking phenomenal to watch, and you can tell that they're super passionate about playing, which I've always enjoyed. Like I love watching somebody that's just fucking lost in their instrument, you know. I'll try to figure out who that Andy guy was. He plays acoustic, and it's finger style, not really flamenco, but it's another one. And like Doug said, you look him up, and exactly, big, hefty dude, man, big sausage fingers. But then again, I've seen videos of fucking kids 8 years old fucking shredding. So my always saying I have small hands is why I have a hard time playing. Is like, well, that kid just blew that fucking excuse for me.
Well, it's a good excuse. I mean, you
If
can still use it.
Yeah, but, you know, then someone's going to be like, I saw this 8-year-old playing a full-size guitar.
So you just tell them that, like, yeah, must have big hands, dude. Must be a kid with big hands.
Giant fucking hands.
It's not a talent thing. He's got bigger hands than me.
Kids just
Like
got
one of
big
those
hands.
cartoon things where the motherfucker blows in his thumb.
Yeah, exactly. And then he just fucking shreds on a fucking Schecter. Like, God damn.
I think they have new ones where you just blow your hand up like a Reebok pump. There's like a pump on your wrist.
They got, well, I mean, you could just, I don't know. I'm not gonna entertain this. I'm not. I refuse. So I was like, I could go somewhere dumb with this, but we're a classy operation here.
Oh, yeah. Because when I think class, I think Bullshirt Podcast.
Bullshirt Podcast. Hell yeah.
You gotta say ding with a little copyright symbol pops up. The Bullshirt Podcast.
That's right. That's what we are on YouTube. The Bullshirt
Podcast.
That is true. That is true. We're the Bullshirt Podcast.
I think I remember
And we have 3 fucking subscribers. Bow to our excellence.
3. So Doug, Dan, Adam. Actually, I don't think I'm even subscribed. I should probably do that. So
I don't think I am either because I have subscribe. It just lit up. So I am now subscribed. So we now have 4 subscribers.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, we're growing.
Go subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can monetize and put ads.
We just
in
grew
there.
by 33% during this podcast.
Wait a minute. Yep, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Fuck, we could. We have 100% more if me and Adam go in and actually follow. So we're on Facebook. I think we're on Instagram. We're on all the social media.
We're on fuck Facebook.
Yeah, that's what it's like. That's the platform I want to be on. Fuck Facebook.
Fuck Facebook.
Fuck Facebook.
Flip through and check out a bunch of fuck faces. Which is kind of what Facebook is anyway. But
Yeah, it really is.
I had I dropped off Facebook for about a month, and the only reason I got back on is I started doing the photography thing again, and it's a good platform for kind of promoting yourself. But that's all I do. If it's not about photography, I don't interact with anybody.
There's a lot of people that promote their self on Facebook, but usually it's just fucking, ego masturbation.
Yeah, and I should clarify, I don't like pay money and promote on Facebook. I share, like if I go do something and I take pictures and videos. I've done some videos. I was off this last week for my birthday, and
it turned 33.
Yeah, 30 again. Actually 46. So I'm creeping up on 50.
There we go.
I went and hit some trails, took the Jeep out, took the bike out, just fucked off. And but I recorded and took a bunch of pictures of my adventures and put them up on Facebook, and had some decent conversations with people. Because that's the shame that, the thing about Facebook, social media, is that I do enjoy some of the people, right? But the majority of them, it's like with Instagram, we were talking about the bots on YouTube or the spam on YouTube. Instagram has become a fucking nightmare. And I loved Instagram the first couple of years it came out because it was really dedicated to photography. It was really just about pictures,
And then Facebook bought it.
And then Facebook bought them. Absolutely. So,
bots on Instagram have been a thing for before the acquisition.
But it feels like now it's just like I can't post anything without getting literally 6, 7, 8. Hey, that's great, Dan. DM us for a collab, and shit like that. And
yeah, I replied to one of them the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, the dude it was a picture of you literally standing beside of a tree, and it was like, great photo, Dan. DM us. I was like, all right, bad bot. He's literally standing beside a tree.
Yep. I was like, come on, man. It's, yeah, okay, I'm going to hawk your watches or whatever. There was one that was a watch company that was like, DM us to collab. I'm like, look, folks, here's the thing. I'm not a good looking guy. I understand this. I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm not fugly. I don't look like fucking somebody hit me in the face with a meat cleaver or anything. But I'm not a guy you want selling your fucking watches, So
no, but they don't give a fuck. If they have like 300 dudes doing it doesn't matter.
Right. Somebody's, it might click with one person, because I love when people call themselves or when the media says, Instagram influencer or whatever, influencer. I'm like, I have never been influenced to buy or do. Oh, fuck. We just talked about this with Oz and all that. I have never been influenced to buy something because a hot chick was like, here, you should use this. Why? I mean, you might get my attention with their titties, but that's about it.
Exactly.
I use Twitter a lot more, and there's like this thing on Twitter where if someone makes a post and it gets like a lot of attention and likes and retweets and stuff, someone will DM them, and then they'll immediately reply to their own post with like an ad. They'll be like, also, while you're here, be sure to buy this new fucking bedroom light. And like, if you look at Twitter for more than like 10 minutes, everyone's hawking the same like 3 items.
Mm-hmm. Because those are the ones that are getting on the back end with the, in the DMs and shit that you're not seeing. Those are the companies that are pushing their shit on people. Right. And that's the thing is that, I would never, hey, it would be cool if the Bullshirt Podcast took off and people wanted to hear us and we became professionals and had sponsors. But I would never hawk or sponsor anything that I didn't actually give a fuck about. Right? I just can't. I can't do it. I can't be that guy. It's like, hey, try this new fucking widget and that gives you cancer and steals all your data.
I actually hate people like that, so I couldn't do that. Like, I legit, exactly. There's not many things that I like actually hate, but I hate people like that, and they should all be lined up and shot in the back of the head.
Oh, at least it's the back of the head. That's kind of you.
Yeah, they'll never see it coming. Boom, lights out. No more fucking ads. Let's go.
Ad blocker extreme.
Ad blocker, John Wick ad blocker.
Yeah, the day that you hear me hawking Dollar Shave Club,
Right.
I
Or
will have
Manscaped.
died inside.
Right.
Manscaped.
Yeah, Manscaped. That's the big one now. About a year ago, 2 years ago, it was Dollar Shave Club.
Mhm.
And
Now
MeUndies.
everybody's Manscaped.
Yeah, I will say MeUndies are actually good. I bought a pair. They're good.
And see, and there's the thing. If you wanted to hawk that, I'd say go for it. Like, hey, I've tried this product. I like this product, and I think other people would. Right? I'm down for that. I am absolutely cool with people sponsoring things that they've used and think are cool. One of them that I fucking hate. I was watching a video the other day on music production. I was having some trouble with something, and this guy gets about 2 minutes in, and he starts doing like one of the clan games. I don't even know if it was
Oh, Raid Shadow Legends.
probably Shadow.
I
Yes, it
guarantee it.
was. It was
Yeah,
Raid Shadow Legends.
Because they literally sponsor every YouTuber ever.
Yeah,
You could have
and,
2 viewers, and they'd be like, "Yeah, we're going to sponsor you."
Yeah, and it's like, really, do you really sit and play Raid Shadow Legends all day?
He's like, "I
Really?
love it. Oh my god, I want to." Hang on. There's a video of a dude that got sponsored by them, and he made fun of them the whole time, and they never sponsored him again.
I think I know who you're talking about, and that amuses the fuck out of me, right? I don't have time to sit and play games on my phone, so I'm not going to sponsor it. And people are like, oh, you would if they paid you enough money. It'd have to be a lot of.
They don't have
money.
enough money to pay me the
That's
amount that it would take.
There you go. That's exactly right. I'm not going to hawk things because that's your integrity, man. That's your dignity. That's your fucking integrity, right? You start hawking bullshit. It's no different than a brand that sells shit. If not literally, Doug. If
Diarrhea nachos.
right.
Verbal diarrhea. Diarrhea.
Yay!
That makes Doug happy. No, there's nothing greater in the world than a happy Doug. Yeah, I just that's your brand, man. And nowadays, that's with social media and everything. That's probably more important than ever. I want people to trust me and not be like, oh, hey, Dan just told me about this new thing, and someone comes around, they're like, yeah, every fucking new thing that comes out, So I don't know. These are the things that fucking irritate us, I suppose.
I tried to.
Actively participated in social media for years, and my self-esteem is wonderful.
Well, we've talked about that, right? The Instagram lifestyle, and it's
When you compare yourself to real people in their actual lives,
you
realize you're doing all right.
Yeah, and I think we talked maybe on the last podcast or amongst ourselves about the you can go rent a fuselage of a private jet. It's literally just I think like the cockpit and about 50 feet back or something like that, and it's just enough to sit in one of the seats with what appears to be a cockpit behind you in a private jet. And I just don't understand the point of that.
We should totally go to that place and then just fucking ham it up.
I'm with you. I say we go do it.
I'll volunteer to buy a bottle of Cristal.
Right. Dude, I can Photoshop like nobody's business. Just get a bottle of fucking cheap whatever. I can put a Cristal logo on it.
Oh no. If we're gonna fake it, goddamn it, we're gonna be balling. There will be pimp cups.
So then after we empty the Cristal, we're gonna put it all back together and then sell the empty bottle to somebody. We're like, here you go. I bet you could do that. I bet you can get on eBay and buy empty bottles of Cristal just to have the bottle. You know what I mean? So
probably.
I wouldn't surprise me at all. I might make a rental business I get into where I rent bottles of Cristal out.
That's so dumb, dude.
You know I'd make money.
You
I'd
would.
fucking make money.
Yes, you would.
What's a bottle of Cristal go for now? I don't even know. So how much is a bottle of Cristal?
I'm not a rapper. I'm not sure.
I know you're not, but still. All right. It's the sound of a bunch of mechanical keyboards all going at once. I just $300 to $500. Okay, so
Rent it out for like $20, dude.
yeah. Total Wine has them for 750 milliliters for $315. So yeah, hell, $50, right? And put a fucking $300 deposit down on it, and you get $250 back when you bring them a bottle back. So fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, buy about 10 of those and just ship them out. Hell yeah, I'm on to something here. If I had the energy, I might actually try it. I'm not a go-getter, man. I'm not. I get into shit and then I go, this is dumb. Fuck this.
Like, nope, fuck this. This is a lot of work. I
Right.
already have money.
Right? Exactly.
I can
I've got
already
a
pay my
job.
bills.
And there's something to be said about consistent 9 to 5 kind of job, man. I appreciate people that go out and hustle and do their thing. I'm just not that guy. So like with the photography, I did some weddings and some shoots, and I even did some senior photos, and I do okay. I'm not a great photographer. I know this. Again, I have no illusions. But when you start charging people for stuff, man, it changes everything. It just changes everything. Because now it's, if I'm just like, hey, Doug, you want me to come over and take some pictures of your cock and balls? And he's like, fuck yeah, let's do this. And if a month later I still haven't produced anything, I'd be like, Doug, those were free pics of your cock and balls. You can't, fuck you. You can't argue. But if he's like, hey, Dan, you charged me $600 to take pics of my cock and balls.
Yeah,
Well,
and I got a merkin and everything.
I mean, he invested. He invested in a merkin. So at that point, I have an obligation to provide him with these photos. So it just kind of changes everything at that point when you start charging people for stuff. But at the same time, like Adam's music, you should charge people for. I know you've done some music scores and you've done some stuff like that. You should charge people because you are good at it and your product is worth charging for.
Music's pretty easy because like I can just throw it on Spotify and there's no ask. You just have to have Spotify.
Right, and if people listen to it, then
I get paid 0.00002 cents.
So you'll be retiring soon, is what you're telling me. So
selling beats works too because like the price is there's no haggle. Like online purchases are so much easier because there's no like expectation for haggling or fucking trying to negotiate.
Right.
So,
it's like I'm charging you $20 for this beat. If you want it, great. If you don't,
go away.
Yeah, exactly. Then fuck off, get burnt. So it's I think it's easier. Wow, I think it's easier to do a lot of.
It's distracting, isn't it?
Yeah, Doug just sent us a picture of a chick with a hot pink merkin, and I'm admittedly was looking at it and trying to talk at the same time, and Lord knows a pussy will distract me 10 times out of 9. So
I figured there was I wanted there to be an explanation of your normal lack of verbal diarrhea,
Hey man, someone's got to carry this fucking podcast. So now I need a
speaking of which, it's been an hour.
It has been an hour. How time flies when
you're having fun
and flinging merkins.
When you're flinging merkins.
Verbal diarrhea.